I just want to talk very fast here because I'm so paranoid that they're going to pull the plug on us here in the Rose Garden.
Welcome to today's Cable News Craziness, where we take a look at some of the craziness that takes place on cable news. Today, CNN All-Stars, Jim Acosta, Wolf Blitzer, Brian Stelter, they are all giddy about the President of the United States getting kicked off of Twitter. Unfortunately, they're not thinking about the long-term consequences of this. Roll.
So the president, he has been kneecapped by Twitter. He can no longer use this account to do all of the various and sundry things that he does on a regular basis. He is, for all intents and purposes, banned at the moment from this very powerful social media platform.
This is a moment in Silicon Valley history, as well as a moment in political history. And this has significance all around the world, Wolf. So many world leaders use Twitter to communicate. But this is a historic moment where Twitter has stepped in and said, no, that world leader, the United States president, is too dangerous to use our platform. It is an astonishing thing that technology companies like Twitter and Facebook feel they have to protect the public from the American president. They have to take away his keys because they don't trust him to get behind the wheel. But censorship is not the right word here, Wolf. This has nothing to do with the First Amendment. The First Amendment's about your relationship to the government, not your relationship with a private technology company. And these platforms have been under tremendous pressure from liberals, from Trump critics, from a lot of employees at Twitter. You know, we have seen this remarkable action by technology companies because they fear what Trump will do with his platforms.
As you know, Brian, a lot of people think these platforms should have done this a long time ago.
The reality has been Twitter and Facebook have been very afraid to go crosswise with this president. They have been afraid to take action against an account. But in any other case, he would be suspended years ago. That's just the reality.
Now that clip comes from Newsbusters and the Media Research Center. They always do a great job. Check out their websites and social media accounts. It is absolutely amazing that these individuals are happy about this. You listen to Jim Acosta talking about the president being kneecapped and not able to reach out and talk to his supporters, as if that is a good thing. The President of the United States being unable to reach out and directly talk to people, instead of having to go through the mainstream media in order to do that. Yeah, that will kneecap you if guys like Jim Acosta are spinning absolutely everything as the worst possible thing that could ever happen to this country. That's what they've done for the last 4+ years, and that doesn't show any sign of stopping anytime soon. Then you get into the conversation with Wolf Blitzer and Brian Stelter, and they're acting as if this is a very good thing, when in fact it's a very bad thing, and they lay out some of the reasons why it's actually pretty bad. First, they are correct. This is not censorship. The government is not censoring the President of the United States. Instead, tech oligarchs are, so I guess we think that that's better. Now, again, they have the ability and the right to manage who uses their platform. I do not disagree with them on that argument at all. However, I don't think we would be listening to this conversation taking place on CNN if Joe Biden was kicked off of social media for whatever reason. They would be very upset, and people would say, yeah, they have the right to do that, but it doesn't make it the right thing. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And I'll give you a perfect example. What if a right-wing individual bought up most of the cable systems around the country and said, I don't want CNN and MSNBC on these networks, and he turned them off? Could they do that? They absolutely could do that. Should they do that? The answer to that is no. I don't know why these individuals in the media, especially Brian Stelter, whose job it is to monitor the media and cover the media, why they believe it's a good thing that we have less voices. Now, I get it. The voices being silenced right now are the bad guys, in their opinion. And because of that, they're fine with those voices being silenced in that way. But in the scenario I'm pointing out, other voices, liberal voices, would be silenced, and people would be furious about that. That could very well happen, and I would be here telling you that this is wrong, that it happened. So yes, might does not make right in this situation. They can do it. It doesn't mean that they should do it. And for these people to be ecstatic about less voices in the public square is just absolutely amazing. You know why they're happy? Because they want those voices silenced so their voices will be amplified. It truly is that simple. Speaking of amplifying voices, they also get into an argument about the silencing of the President of the United States as a world leader. But what about other world leaders that have not been silenced? How about the Ayatollah in Iran, an individual who regularly calls for the death of Jews? I guess that's not an incitement of violence or a danger to public safety or anything like that. The President of the United States, you could argue, incited violence. I would argue he did. Go read my column at yellowhammernews.com. I make that exact same argument. But they're also pretending that anyone else that was engaged in this process of counting the Electoral College votes and disagreed with accepting Arizona's or Pennsylvania's or whatever is somehow also involved in that. And it's not. That's allowed by the Constitution. That's the system. It's been used before by Democrats in the past, and nobody complained about it. But the idea that Donald Trump can't be on the platform because of this is comical, especially when you have the Ayatollah on there. And then you have the president of China. No tech company will ever take any action against the president of China. President Xi could do whatever he wanted, and they will never respond negatively. They're already engaged in censorship for that regime. So you're telling me that a guy that has actual concentration camps, he's fine. He can continue doing what he's doing, but the President of the United States can't because of a bunch of LARPing losers decided to go down to the U.S. Capitol and commit sedition. That's what they did. Those were seditious acts, and I don't care who you are, that's true. They killed a police officer. They tried to stop our constitutional republic from following through on its electoral college vote certification. That's sedition. It is what it is, and it shouldn't have happened. But you're arguing that because those individuals took that action, that Donald Trump can't be on social media and speak to his people. It doesn't make any sense, especially given the standard that they've applied elsewhere. So this whole thing, especially where CNN is happy about this, is dangerous because that thing, the pendulum, is going to swing back the other way at some point in time. You saw it with Harry Reid. He said, we're going to get in here, we're going to do what we want with the filibuster when it comes to judicial nominees, and then Donald Trump got 3 Supreme Court nominees appointed to the bench, and people were furious about that. This is the same thing. Short-term gain, long-term pain. It is a bad idea. This is not going to make things better. It is, in fact, going to inflame things and make them worse. Now you are taking the President of the United States, the leader of a political party, and you are saying that his voice is less valid. And then what you're also saying is to 75 million people that your voice is less valid. And you continue pushing these people like this, you are going to have more nut jobs, do more bad things. Are they bad things? Yes. No question about it. Are you going to see more nut jobs doing bad things? You might. This is a bad call. It's a bad call by the tech giants. It is a bad call by our friends in the mainstream media and their Democrats to come out and praise this stuff. It is a bad call all the way around. And we'll be here to continue watching these people make bad calls on cable news. We'll bring you cable news craziness every single day. All you have to do is like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and come on back tomorrow.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here, and this is my son, Grant. Now, I'm here to talk to you about Top Shelf Customized Cleaning. He's a handful, I'm a handful, and if I want to stay married, I need Top Shelf Customized Cleaning to come and take care of my house. They do an amazing job for me, and they'll do an amazing job for you. Cindy loves them, I love them, Grant loves them as well. Check them out on Facebook, Top Shelf Customized Cleaning. And don't forget, call them today, 256-417-9122. And when you talk to them, make sure you tell them Grant sent you.